Hello everybody, this is Jeff, and I am finally back with an arcade video that has to do with restoring arcades or building arcades or something to do with that like I normally do. I hope you enjoyed my MagFest video. If you haven't seen that, please check that out. That was a lot of fun that we had a couple weeks ago. But I'm finally getting around after the holidays and everything that's been going on in my life to get this control panel, which actually is not going to be the first thing I'm going to do. This control panel overlay is going to go on my Centipede. And also, what the first thing I'm going to do is, you can see laid out here on the floor is my Centipede Side Art. And I am really excited about this. I think it looks fantastic. I think the colors are really good. I think the quality of the material is really good. And I'm going to try to show you how I'm doing this. So I'm just going to start off by showing you that. I've got one laid out here on the side, so hopefully you can kind of see that. So I just have it clipped in the middle here on the sides with that yardstick, and I've got it all lined up, and then I'm going to trim off these and get them real close before I tack it on. And then after I tack it on, I'm going to go ahead and do the final trimming as precise as I possibly can, which I haven't figured that out exactly yet. I've watched a few videos on this. I've done some small side arts, but not like this. You know, this covers the whole thing. One of the cool things was that this actually left an imprint. So I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see the bottom of the mushroom there. You can see where it's lighter, and that was where the original was. So I actually have a really good gauge of where to line that up. So that's how I lined it up. I even went up here to the antennae, and the antennae is over here. I'm going to lift it up carefully. But you can kind of see that antennae right there. So I got a good place to line it up. So that was really helpful, and it's just the perfect size because it lined up just right like the original. So I wanted to show you this. I'm going to trim it up a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you what I did and how I did it and how things worked out. So I'll be back soon. Alright, little update here. So this in the middle, this yardstick in the middle, I have clamped down on each side. So what I did was I took this top part and I flipped it over, and then I peeled the backing off all the way up to as close to this as I could, and then I took my utility knife and then I trimmed off the backing right here. Okay, of course this is all after I trimmed that stuff off over there, which you can see is, you know, it's just kind of close, right? So I've got maybe a ½ an inch overhang. And then what I did, and it worked okay for a little bit, but I think it's because it was this top here was a little tricky, is I flipped this back, and as I laid it down, I ran this piece of PVC because I thought, well, what can I use that's not won't scratch it or anything? So I kind of ran that across there, you know, and held it down, and it smoothed it out really nice until about right here. And then I had a little trouble, and then I had to kind of do it, you know, gradually with my hand because it was starting to buckle a little bit. But I think this turned out really good. I got no bubbles. So then now what I got to do is I'm going to pull this. I moved the yardstick back about 3 inches, 2 inches, just enough to where now when I pull this one back, right, this has still got the backing on it, I should be able to get to the point where this is sticky right in here, right? So the backing, I can start peeling it right there. So then I'll peel it off, and I hope I won't get a seam right there when I start to lay it down. But again, I'm going to use this PVC pipe, which I think is going to work really nice coming down through here. When I do the other side, I'll try to maybe video this when I do it. so you can understand what I'm saying if you can't already. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot and see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, I think that turned out pretty good. Like I said, I tried to use that piece of PVC, and it started out okay for the first few inches, but then when I checked, it was kind of buckling in here, so I had to pull it back real quick because it's really sticky. And then I basically just had to go in with my arm about halfway and gradually bring it down, switch to the other side, gradually bring it down. So it's just a patient process. But I mean, the only little bumps, there was a couple tiny little bumps on the side of this thing, but you know, when I peeled it off real nice, so it was nice and smooth. You know, I think there's like one little spot maybe here where there was a rough edge, but it's really turned out good. So now what I got to do is I'm going to take this straight edge wherever I can, kind of clamp it down, and then I got to make a real nice cut. See if I can show you. I got to make a real nice cut in there, right along the edge, because once I put the T-molding on, it doesn't overlap. So I got to make this nice and precise, the best I can. So I'm going to see if I can figure that out, and I'll come back and show you the results here in a moment. Alright, so I figured out how to do this easier, because there's a lot of curves, so I can't really use that straight edge too much. But you can see that I advise you, if you're doing this, definitely use a very sharp knife. I've got a nice sharp utility knife that I use. It's a pretty good blade in here. And so then what I'm doing, which is hard to do with one hand, but I'm kind of just bending this down so I can see that crease right there. And then as I go down with the knife, if you can see this, I'll just go ahead and do it here carefully. I can just kind of suck it up right along the edge, and I can go a little faster with one hand, or two hands, but I'll just show you. I'm going to cut off that part right there. So it's a little rougher because I did it with one hand, but it really, it butts it up nice and tight. So really I can just take my knife and go all the way around the edge if I'm just careful. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, and I kind of tested it down there with the T-molding on the bottom. I did the bottom first, but it's looking pretty good. So I'll be back when I get it finished. All right, I'm putting the T-molding on now, and start on the bottom here. I'm just working my way around. I don't really know how well you can see this because it's a little dark down here because it's nighttime, but I'm coming around these curves, and as I put it in, I got this nice rubber mallet here, and as I'm putting it in with one hand, I'm lining it up and then just kind of tapping it all the way around, getting it in there nice and secure. So just want to show you where I was, and I will show you the product, finished product here as soon as I get it in. Alright, finished product here. And I gotta say, I wouldn't say I've been dreading this, but I've been worried about it. Heard so many stories about it, you know, people just screwing it up, and you know, this stuff isn't cheap. This is the most expensive piece, was getting this reproduction side art, but man, I think it really turned out good. The T-molding went on really nicely. I think the edges were cut nicely. I'm going to go ahead and stand it up so we can really look at it while it's standing up, but I want to give you one more last shot. I've even got the T-molding around this bottom piece, which fixed this corner. You can see the corner, it's not bad, but I was able to bring the T-molding all the way around there, so that'll help protect that corner more. And you know, just very minimal, tiny little bubbles that you can barely see, but really happy. So let me stand it up and we'll take one last look at it. Alright, last look. I got it up and on, and of course this is the side I haven't done, but as you can see, it's got that nice outline there. Scraping it up a little bit from the carpet. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. I have to do it nicely on the other side when I lay it down, but that's that side, and here is the finished side right here. I hope you can see this. I'm going to do the other side in a couple days during the light. We get a little more light in here in the basement, but that, my friends, I'm very happy with that. Let me stand back and you can just see. Now I've got a centipede cabinet with the side art on it right there. You can see it from this angle, which I don't have a lot of room in my basement, so. But there's with the marquee lit. Of course, I got to do the control panel, but I'm going to get the side art on first because I'm just dying to get it on there now. But that looks really nice, in my opinion. Really turned out good. I mean, I can even get a little close up here. You know, this turned out really good up through here, down through there, especially right here where people's hands are going to be. Like I said, that's a little dark, but hopefully you can see that somewhat. But that's side art. That's me putting on the side art. Hopefully you got something out of it. What I'll do, I may or may not post this like it is and post another video, or I might just wait and try to show you a little more of the other side while I'm doing it. One way or another, I hope that you enjoy this video, got a little bit of something out of it, but definitely wanted to update you on the Centipede Restore and how that side art turned out. Awesome! Talk to you later. Bye.